Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now, we were doing the top 5 UFC featherweights of all time today. No, it's a very chaotic thumbnail, but I like it. It's a good thumbnail. Anyways, some honorable mentions here. I have Frankie Edgar. I mean, he has wins over Charles Oliveira, BJ Penn at 145, Uriah Faber, Chad Mendes, Jeremy Stephens, Jair Rodriguez, and Cub Swanson. Pretty phenomenal wins. I thought he should be number 5 based off those. We'll get into why he's not. Chad Mendes, good win. Stuck around long enough to fight some all-time greats like Aldo, McGregor, and Volk. Brian Ortega's got some good wins. He's been around for a minute now, and he's fought some all-time greats himself. Jair Rodriguez, obviously interim champ, fought some of the best of his time frame and of all time. He's fought a lot of good guys. And then TKZ, good wins and fought high-level guys. I mean, it only wasn't the military service. He might have been top 5 on this list. Number 5 is Conor McGregor. In his prime, he was a great fighter. Phenomenal striking, great boxing, had movement off the charts, distance management so good. Former champion, well, champion if that really matters. In the context of this video, he's first in knockdowns per 15 minutes, third in TKO or KO/TKO wins, fourth in title fight wins, and fifth in win streak. Now I have 6 losses, obviously, but none of them are revenge. Only one was at 145, so it doesn't really matter for the sake of this video. The really thing, what matters for this video is has one of the most overrated resumes in my opinion. His featherweight resume isn't really that good, especially when you consider how young Max Holloway was. It wasn't like the seasoned Max Holloway that Dustin Poirier fought in like the second Max Holloway Dustin Poirier fight. He fought a very young Max Holloway who was still trying to figure things out. And he was in like what, 16th, 17th fight. I actually have it down right now. My notes. I haven't opened my notes at all. Let me check. Yeah, I mean like Marcus Brimage, Diego Brandao, like come on, man, those are your wins. Those are like what huh? Yeah, okay. Do I don't have it? I do not have what the Max Holloway fight was. That's bad notes on mine. But yeah. Another thing is his resume is really carried by the Aldo performance. I know it's like what a such a good performance, but like that's really all he has, right? His career is defined by one fight in terms of featherweight, the context of featherweight, and it's like I don't want to give guys top 5 all time status based on one fight, but I guess in McGregor you have to. And this narrative that was this washed Aldo is dumb, considering what was it, 8 years he was basically undefeated, right? 20 was his record when he fought McGregor. Like this narrative that he was washed or he was old is just a dumb narrative. And then the next thing is obviously for Philly, we need to wait. He's kind of a weight bully. I mean, he was cutting a lot of pounds. He was very big. I mean, he's naturally what, like 170 naturally, but he was cutting to 45 because he was a short dude. Of course, you're gonna knock everybody out in the first round because he's so much bigger than them. But whatever, professional fighter, so still get the job done. Now, Connor's resume of wins here are a super young and inexperienced Max Holloway, which shouldn't really count for much all time. Diego Brandao, it's a pretty solid win, and I was making fun of him for it before, but like it's solid. It's not like I think Frankie Edgar's wins. I think all of Frankie Edgar's wins combined, or just I don't think Frankie Edgar has a win like Diego Brandao resume. All of his wins are just killers. You could argue the Charles Oliveira one is maybe that was younger Oliveira. That wasn't like the evolved one, but still. Dustin Poirier, I mean that's an all-time win, but Dustin then proceeded to beat him twice. I don't want to get into the reason why I'm saying it's 1-1 is a dumb narrative. I mean Conor was gonna get he's literally gonna get TKO'd in that sequence anyways. He was back to the cage like the second fight, he was gonna get TKO'd anyways. So this narrative is dumb. I'm sorry. Also, it's a leg break. He didn't check the leg kick. I understand it's like a Weidman thing. You throw the leg kick and the leg freakily breaks. Poirier was very clear. He was throwing leg kicks. As a professional fighter, your job is to check those leg kicks. That's why you broke your leg, not because of just. You can't blame the universe or whatever crap you want to blame. You can't just blame the doctors. You only blame yourself because you weren't checking your leg kicks, bro. It's a dumb narrative. It's 1-1. I'm sorry. It's a super dumb narrative. And then Chad Mendes another all-time win. Obviously, the singular career-defining win is Jose Aldo. I mean, like the other 2 wins at featherweight were just absolute cans, so I'm not even going to bring them up. But yeah, I think Frankie has a better resume. But Conor, number 5, regardless, undisputed champ, all that jazz. Number 4, Ilya Taporia. This is a pick I can much more agree with. I can get behind. Great fighter, phenomenal boxing, good wrestling when he uses it. I mean, solid chin, insane power. He's currently the champ. What, maybe fighter of the year? I mean, that's up for you to decide. Different video, but undefeated champion. Bottom line, we know that with the title defense. 4th title fight wins. 5th and bottom position percentage, which means he didn't spend a lot of time there. Isn't taking down much. 6th in knockdowns for 15 minutes, and the cons is not enough body of work, man. He needs like 8 more wins. Like they're not. Probably just like yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, I have 12 to 16 here in my notes, but 8 wins is not enough to put you in the all-time like top 3 inner circle GOAT status with only 8 wins. I don't care. It just isn't enough. You need more. You need to prove yourself more. I think if you can add like 2 all-time great wins, like a not a Volker match, but like a Diego Lopez, or there's going to be a horrible scenario. But Guru was talking about it. What if Masavar fights Volk? Masavar somehow beats Volk. That becomes an all-time win for Top Toro. if he fights that Masavar. I don't think Masavar would beat Volk. I really don't. I don't think Masavar's that good. I'm gonna be real. It needs like 4 good wins, and then we can talk about maybe being top 3 all the time if he adds like those 6 wins. I think, yeah, 6 wins I think would be a fair resume. We could say, yeah, you could be pushing top 3 all the time, but he's going to 155. So it's like, it doesn't really matter anyways. And then I think I put his wins outside of like his all-time wins are super shaky. I mean, Ryan Hall, Jai Herbert, and Damon Jackson. That's cans, brother. That's cans. Those are all cans. So yeah, I don't know. I think if Diego Lopez, honestly becomes a champion and defends his belt, if he keeps staying fighting 6 times a year and defends his belt that many times, he could literally be top like 3 all the time. I think, but or top 4 at least. He might be able to take this spot. To be honest, I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. Now for top Toro's resume, I mean, Yusuf Tavala, I don't think it's an all-time win, but it's a solid win. It's above a can for sure. Bryce Mitchell, another solid win. You could argue it's a good win, and then Josh Emmett, also a good win. And then maybe might have been Volk, but I think it was Volkov. You know, I don't know. I don't think it was him. But yeah, and then there's some guy named Jerome. I heard was a pretty good all-time win. So yeah, you know how it goes. Number 3, Jose Aldo. I know it's gonna be controversial. For a lot of people, Jose Aldo can be number 1, and I see why. He's a great fighter, phenomenal striking, great jiu-jitsu, amazing takedown defense, also good cardio, ageless wonder. I mean, man, 3-time champion if you count inaugural championships, 7 title defenses in the UFC, 2 in the WEC, amazing longevity, most title fight wins in the UFC with 8. It's a total of 10 if you add in the WEC stuff. All right, wouldn't it be 11? No, it'd be 10. Yeah, because he's 7. Yeah, okay, I'm math. 4th takedown defense all time, 5th longest win streak, and 6th in TKO/KO wins. Now for the cons. 9 losses, none of them are avenged, and 4 of them are at 135, so we can get rid of it. One of them was pre-UFC, so we can also get rid of that. But the 4 losses featherweight are Conor McGregor, Max Holloway twice, and Volk. Those are good losses. Those are fine. That is not why Jose is at number 3, and we'll get into why later on. You can get upset about it, but it's just my opinion. Hold on, yeah. I mean, the guy never really lost a step. That was the real thing with Jose Aldo. The competition got better. I don't want to say Aldo fought plumbers. I hate people say that, but like the strength of competition that Aldo fought just simply isn't as good as the strength of competition that Max fought, that Volk fought. He didn't get age out of the competition because the guy's never lost a step. I mean, look at him against Martinez, right? Look at him in the Martinez fight. Didn't lose a step at all. Not the Batista fight. He looked also in the Batista fight as well. But like the guy doesn't lose a step. You know, he's an ageless wonder. It's really the competition's got better than he is because new gen will always beat old gen. That's how the sport works. How the sport should work. If old gen could beat new gen, there'd be a problem. The whole point is the sport's supposed to evolve and get better and grow in skills. And I honestly think that Max Holloway and Volkanovski, I just when they're above him, have fought better strength of competition and done better against the better strength of competition. Now, it's not to say Aldo's a plumber and he's a can crusher, but I still think Aldo has decent strength of competition, but not compared to the guys above him. That's just my take, but I can put Aldo at 2. Originally, he was at 2 in this list, but I had to reevaluate some things before I would record it. But I would not yell at anybody for putting him at 2. Even 1, I wouldn't yell at anybody. But I just think he's number 3 because his strength of competition simply wasn't good enough. And I'm going to read off his all-time wins, and you can say, wow, it's crazy, but I don't think they were. So we have Cub Swanson, Mike Brown, and Uriah Fair for the WEC. The UFC wins are Kenny Florian, Chad Mendes twice, Frankie Edgar twice, Korean Zombie, Ricardo Lamas, Jeremy Stevens, and Money Moicano. Do you see what I mean now? Do you see what I mean now, though? Now do you get what I'm saying? We'll go to Mac Howard's resume shortly, Lord willing, and you'll see why I have it there. I think it's a good mix, though, between like solid wins, good wins, and all-time wins, but I don't think it's enough to become number 2 on the list. But I think you could argue the sheer volume of title defenses puts him up at number 2. But I don't think it's a great argument. I still don't. You know, it is what his career is defined by is the volume of title defenses. But I don't think it's a good argument to put because somebody has volume doesn't mean. I mean, again, a lot of it was there's just a lot of factors that go into the volume, and not everyone can grab that much volume. Number 2, Max Hall. I mean, the guy fought killers, man. We'll get into that. Anyways, great fighter, amazing boxing, footwork, movement, all solid, hands super technical. It's just so technical. Everything about his game is technical. Super high IQ, good chin, game plans well, underrated takedown defense. Former champ with 3 title defenses, most wins, finishes, KO/TKO wins, longest win streak, most total fight time. Most total fight time. That's a correct grammar. Most significant strikes and total strikes landed, and 3rd in title fight wins. I think you see why I want him above Aldo now because just most. We said it like 100 times. Now let's look at the 8 losses here. None of them are avenged, so you can chalk up the first Dustin loss to inexperience, and then it was Max's 6th fight to Dustin's 14th. Max in his 9th fought Dennis fought Dennis Bermudez, who was in his 15th fight, and then Max. This is the one where you can. This one is where you can. I think 10 is where it becomes you can either keep arguing inexperience and say it's like 15, which sounds crazy, or you could say it is still an experience. Max in his 10th fight fought Conor McGregor. I think that's debatable, and the validity of that win in terms of the all-time list. The McGregor fans are the same crazy, but the real people know what I mean. Though, like, people lose fights, especially when you're starting out in your career. It's normal. And then Volk 3 times isn't really that bad. And then there's some guy from Georgia or Spain. His name is like Eli or something. I heard he's pretty good. So I mean, again, it's really that bad. None of his losses per se, if you factor in the inexperience, are really that bad. And then the second Volk fight could be scored to Max as well. So that can also change things. You can take another loss off the board there if you want. It's completely up to you. I don't really want to get into the validity and break down the trilogy. I could do that video though if I need to break down some trilogies. I'm thinking about not well was I want to watch like the Frankie Edgar Benson Henderson fights because I've heard those are super controversial before I do my lightweight rankings. But anyways, really, I think the real thing that determines where Max Holloway's third or second is how do you view Jose Aldo? Do you view Aldo as like this unstoppable force? Like, do you think he's your GOAT? So Max Holloway's going to slide down to 3. But I think Aldo was a pioneer who just got aged out of the competition. Still very good, but he was aged out of the competition. The competition got better and kind of passed him by. Like that one scene in Cards with the black card passing Night McQueen. You know what I mean? That's kind of what happened to Jose Aldo. But not a knock against him, not to say anything he was bad. I'm saying he was a can't crusher or he crushed plumbers. I just think that Aldo simply got out competition. The comp got better, and that's okay because the comp does get better and you get older. But it's probably a combiner of the two factors. But Aldo doesn't age though; it's weird. Anyways, get ready for this, by the way. Max Holloway's wins are incredible, in my opinion. So we're going to start out Andre Fili, Cub Swanson, Charles Oliveira, Jeremy Stevens, Ricardo Lamas, Jose Aldo twice, Brian Ortega, Frankie Edgar, Calvin Kattar, Yair Rodriguez, Arnold Allen, the Korean Zombie. That's a phenomenal list, especially if you add in Volk's second fight. Boy, that's an insane list. That's why he's number 2, because he fought killers every fight, and he destroyed them most of the time. Max Holloway's great. I'm not really a fan of Max Holloway, but I'm a Max Holloway glazer somehow. I don't know how it works. Number 1, we all know this. I'm a big fan of Volk. And I'm also in a group chat with Legendary Cooking with Volk Enjoyer, so I gotta watch my words here. But he did give me permission that I can talk about the Taporia loss, but I still gotta watch my words here. Anyways, Volk, great fighter, good striking, good wrestling, great jiu-jitsu, super underrated jiu-jitsu in my opinion. Amazingly high fight IQ, bro. His fight IQ is absurd. I think top 5 all time in fight IQ. Maybe the best fight IQ. Him and like DJ. This narrative that John has a high fight IQ is just stupid. I'm sorry. I mean, he DQ'd Anthony Smith, bro, and he eye pokes you and he puts all these fouls. Volk. All I can think of was wasn't there a nut shot in one of the Max Holloway fights? That's all I can think of, and that could be a false memory as well. Remember, human brain, false memories. I mean, amazing cardio as well. 200. What Joe Rogan said was 214-pound lungs and a 165-pound man, or 145-pound with 165 because he cuts 20 pounds. I mean, he's a former champion with 5 title defenses. I mean, he's the longest average fight time, second title fight wins. With 6 title fight wins overall, also second longest win streak, third in significant strikes, fourth in total strikes and accuracy, and fifth in wins. Now the cons, 4 losses. One of them was pre-UFC, so we can scratch it off the list. The second one was debatable. That's also at lightweight, and the third one was obviously didn't happen, and that's that lightweight was an AI image, but they still count for some reason. The fourth one wasn't really that bad, to be honest. I mean, the guy's the real deal. You know, the guy from Spain or Georgia, who shall not be named, is actually the real deal, as we have proven and seen. And the main argument for Volk at number 1 over Jose Aldo, per se, because I don't think Holloway could be number 1, to be honest, because Volk beat him 3 times. You know, it's really just what do you value over quantity versus quality. I think Volk it's like the Izzy versus Aaron Sensei debate that I had, but I think Volk's quality is genuinely unmatched. I think he fought the best of the best, and he beat them. He beat the old gen. He beat the new gen, sort of. You still have to do that, but I think he will beat the new gen. I don't think anyone at featherweight other than probably Top Toro and maybe Diego Lopez can beat Volk. To be real, I think his fight IQ is too good. But that's another topic for another video. But yeah, it's really about how you view this whole quality over quantity thing. I really value Volk's quality, which is why I put him at number 1 over Jose Aldo, but I could easily see why you could value quantity and say you have the argument that's longevity, but I also think that Volk had enough longevity, and the guy's basically undefeated at featherweight for like years and beating everybody, just schooling people, you know? Anyways, Volk's wins. I think. Oh, I forgot to talk about the Volk and Taporia thing. Like, if you knock Volk off the list because of what Taporia did to him, that's the stupidest argument ever, and I keep seeing it. Considering Aldo got knocked out in 13 seconds against Conor McGregor, at least Volk survived longer than 13 seconds against Toro. You know what I mean? It's a dumb argument, but now to finally wrap this thing up, I thought it'd be a pretty straightforward video, but it got pretty complicated. The wins for Volk, Darren Elkins, very solid. Chad Mendes, Jose Aldo, Max Holloway 3 times, you could argue 2 times. Brian Ortega, the Korean Zombie, and Yair Rodriguez. Very good, high quality wins. They range from the solid, like the Darren Elkins, to the all time, like your Max Holloway and your Jose Aldo wins. And you have your good wins, like the Brian Ortega, TKZ, and Yair. It's a very good mixture of wins. I think Volk's the featherweight GOAT pretty clearly, but an argument can be made for Aldo still, I think. Anyways, I didn't want to get so chaotic, and it could be a little bit controversial to have Holloway above Aldo. We will see in the comments, Lord willing. Thanks for watching, and God bless.